In today's video, I want to reflect on my word of the year for 2025, as well as share some of my poetry with you, some thoughts on the year, and how I plan to go into 2026. Hello everyone, Jennifer here, and welcome back to the Daily Connoisseur. This is going to be the final video of the year for me. I'd like to reflect on things with you and just have a good old-fashioned chat like we did in the good old days. I've been on YouTube now for 15 years. It's such a big part of my life, as are you, and I'm so grateful for you, truly. And this year at Christmas time has looked a lot different for me. Normally, my final video of the year is my animated poem, and I did not do that this year. I was too busy with the book launch and my travels to put that together. So I'm sorry that I don't have the animated poem for you, but as a consolation, I'm going to be reading some of my poetry to you, and that will, take the place of the big production that I normally like to do at the end of the year. And this year has looked very different for me. I am taking things slower because I'm just trying to protect my health. And it's funny because I was looking at my word of the year for 2025, and I don't know if you do this, but I will choose a word of the year and I will keep it at the forefront of my mind for like the first few months, okay? January, February, maybe March. And then I completely forget what my word of the year was. Do you do this? So I actually had to go back in my planner and look what my actual word of the year was because I couldn't remember in December. And I was thinking, wait, what was that? So I looked in my planner and I was reminded that my words of the year for 2025 were inner peace. When I read that, I was reminded of why I chose inner peace. And it's because I went through so much. I've been through so much, as we all have, right, in the past several years. And my focus this year was really on regulating my nervous system, which I realized was so far out of whack. And I'll probably do videos about this in the new year because I'm very passionate about this subject, especially for women, because we do so much. But the inner peace desire for this year was to remain calm and classy, right? Like the slogan of the channel is, no matter what happens, to remain with a sense of calm, a sense of peace, and to go about my days doing that. So I strayed from that a lot this year, and I also remembered it without even knowing that I chose that as the word of the year, when I forgot. Is any of this making sense? I hope so. I'm just like stream of consciousness in today's video. So basically what I'm trying to say is I do think it's very powerful to choose a word of the year or a phrase of the year, because even though I technically forgot it, it was always on my mind because I've been doing a lot of inner work with regulating myself. I notice that when I do tasks, I am often rushed or tense or stressed because there's so much on my to-do list. That, and I'm also worried about being interrupted and that I won't get it done, If you can relate to any of this, please let me know down below. So in those moments, I catch myself and I try to infuse a sense of calm. Like I don't need to rush. I don't need to get worked up. It's okay if I'm interrupted. It's okay if I don't do this task. It's okay if I literally don't do something, like don't do the animated poem or don't do certain things I always do at Christmas time. That's okay too. So I realized that even though I forgot my word of the year, that it was still something that I was working on anyway. So I have a lot more to say about that, and you'll see that in the first video of the year when I come back from my break. I have already meditated on my word of the year for 2026, and I will share that with you in the next video when I come back. But a quick tip is when you choose your word of the year to write it in your planner at random spots in the upcoming year. Maybe like once a month on a certain page, just write your word of the year. And then when you get to that page throughout your busy schedule in life, you'll be reminded of it. So that's what I'm going to do going forward to next year. But I found that funny, but I completely forgot what my word of the year was. Yet I was still working on it. I want to thank you all for your incredible support of my new book, The Daily Connoisseur's Guide to Living Well at Home. I'm so proud of this book. I love it so, so much. Not only is it beautiful, but it means a lot to me, the contents of the book, because I think that living well at home and refining our existence at home can only benefit all of our lives. And everyone from new homemakers to seasoned ones, and it's for men and women too, not just women. I think that you can find gems in this book and be reinvigorated with inspiration. At least that's what I'm hearing from people. And I also wanted to mention that the ebook is now available. Thank you for your patience. So you can find it on any ebook device like Kindle or Nook or iBooks. And I want to thank you so much for your support, and thanks to everyone writing reviews. I'll dive into a lot of the deeper concepts of the book in 2026. So as I reflect back on 2025 on YouTube, I feel that it was a great year for me. I truly enjoyed doing the topics that I wanted to do, and I think that resonated with a lot of you as well. They say that the influencer era is dying. Have you heard this? I don't really consider myself to be an influencer, even though I have a YouTube channel. I'm okay with it. Like I am an author with a YouTube channel, and I just love exploring the fine art of living. Things on my channel are consistent. You know, I don't do a lot of the trends, and you're gonna find the same feeling, the same vibe, the same nostalgia that you always do typically. But having said that, I would love your feedback. If there's any way that I could improve the channel in your eyes, please kindly let me know. Or if there's anything that you would like to see in the future, please let me know as well. And as long as YouTube is here and I'm still enjoying it, I'll still be here, you know, like whether the numbers go up or down, it doesn't matter. I'm here. I love what I do. Okay, so having said that, I would like to read 3 poems for you. I was going back through my poetry, and I have written a lot of poetry over the years, and I have enough for a book, truly. And I was in a dark period of my life. I talk about this a lot. In my 30s and early 40s, I was just completely overwhelmed with everything. With being a parent, raising children, running a home, and working. And one of my only outlets was poetry. I actually wrote, and I don't want to share the title in case I do publish it one day, but I did write a lot about my life during that period of time in poetry. And I was reading them and I thought, this is so just like relatable. And it was so meaningful to me at the time. So I wanted to read 2 of those poems to you today. I might have already shared these on the channel. I actually can't even remember, but it doesn't hurt to share them again. So the first one is called I'm Done. At the end of the day, I'm done, you see. It can't get any clearer. I start the day off pretty and chipper. At the end, I can't look in the mirror. I just want to go to bed and hide. Give my regards to everyone. I don't feel like this all the time, but today, believe me, I'm done. So that poem is about when I hit what Ben calls saturation point. I call it shutdown mode. I also have a poem called Shutdown Mode, but it just, you know, captures the feeling of being done. And I know that if you are busy in your life with children, with home, with work, it can feel exhausting and you can just feel like you're done. You're at the end of your tether. So that poem expressed that for me. And then this one is called Sisyphus. I might have already shared this one, can't remember. But Sisyphus is a character in Greek mythology that I always think about. I really do always think about Sisyphus. So this one goes like this. Housework can be repetitive, constantly setting things to right. It's at once satisfying and tedious. This is the homemaker's plight. Just as Sisyphus rolled the boulder, it feels we have done this before. The tide inevitably rolls back, then washes up on the shore. But unlike Sisyphus, the jobs we do are meaningful at worst. At best, they are the stuff of life, so let us dive in head first. And I think I was feeling optimistic when I wrote that poem. I think it was Albert Camus who famously said, "One must imagine Sisyphus happy." And I think that was the spirit of this poem. So yes, the Sisyphean nature of housework will never go away. It won't. I thought I'd end on a highlight and share Wild Mint again with you because I do love this poem. Okay, I made a pot of tea today. I picked it fresh from the garden. The mint is rambling and taking over. I had to beg its pardon. I should have planted it in a pot. That was the advice I was told. But instead, I put it in the ground. Now it's taken over tenfold. I thought I'd eradicate the problem and pulled the plant straight out. I figured that was the last of it, but new shoots began to sprout. So now it's mixed in among it all. It's growing wild and free. That's okay. It's all good. We'll have endless pots of tea. And I wrote that poem about the wild mint that I planted in my garden that completely takes over every single year. And I should have listened to you when you told me to put it in a pot. But again, it turns it on its head and reminds us to look on the bright side. I can have endless pots of mint tea now, right? Instead of getting annoyed with it. So I hope that you enjoyed the poetry. And it is a goal of mine one day to publish my poetry because I have dozens and dozens of poems that I truly love. Before we close, I wanted to remind you about the Chic Society channel memberships. It is the Patreon of YouTube, so you can join channel memberships to support the channel. I keep my membership extremely affordable. The lowest tier is $1.99 a month, and I do a video once a week. We go live usually around once a month and talk with each other. There's a pen pal program. There's just a lot of benefits to being in the Chic Society. And I intentionally keep it really affordable because I want it to be like no burden on you, you know, just like you don't even think about it, $1.99 a month. And so that's the classic connoisseur tier. There's one more tier, that's the Chic Connoisseurs. You're seeing them here, and they support the channel at a higher level. It's $7.99 a month. And they have a written mention in one video a month, like you're seeing here. And so those are the only two tiers of the Chic Society going forward into 2026. And I thank them so much for supporting the channel. If you love the channel and you would like more content or to support it on a higher level, you can click the join button down below or the link in the description box. And of course, I want to give a big thank you to my wonderful editor, Evan Gallagher. I know you all love Evan, so please give him a big round of applause for making the videos so good this year, as he always does. All right, everyone, this is it. This is the final video of 2025. I want to thank you for being part of my channel. I appreciate you so much. I really do. And I hope that you have a very Merry Christmas if you celebrate, and a Happy New Year. Happy holidays. Please leave your requests for 2026 down below, and I can't wait to see you in the new year. I've got lots of fun things to share. So cheers, everyone. Keep calm and remain classy, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.